Hello and welcome to a project Stealth Fighter on the Commodore 64. And well, I can't remember this correct, 88 I think. Yeah, I'm sure it was early 88. And well, it's another flight sim from Microprose. I think they've released this, well, this is sort of the follow-up to Gunship, I guess. And they certainly set a very high standard with Gunship. There's no doubt about that. I think I reviewed that a while back. Now, I haven't played this too much, I've played it a little bit. And like most of these Microprose games, you really need to read the manual to get the most out of it, I think. And well, this is the copy protection screen, and the manual has pictures of the planes. I think Gunship had the same sort of feature. Well, just a hunch, but I think that's an F-14 Tomcat. Right, so, yep, correct identification. Right. So the game begins, it's a bit like Gunship really. You get to really sort of choose what sort of mission you want based on various parameters, where you are in the world and what sort of troops you want to fight against. That determines how difficult the game is. Normally you would have a pilot here, but well, I haven't. I'll start a new pilot. Second Lieutenant Gunn. There we go. Now you can pick where you want to start. We'll fly missions in Libya, I think. I won't bother doing the training, it's a bit dull. You can pick, well this determines again how difficult the game is. If it's in Cold War conditions, the troops are not really on high alert. Again, you can pick different levels, but we'll keep it easy. It tells you at the bottom what the overall risk is at the moment in terms of the options that you've picked, so we'll keep it at low, so Cold War. You can pick air-to-air missions. These involve, if it's air-to-air, then it's normally shooting down either planes to make way for other missions, or sometimes it's shooting down important, if it's enemy troops in a helicopter, maybe shoot them down before they get a chance to be deployed. Or you can do strike missions, which I'm going to do, which is either bombing missions or quite often it's reconnaissance missions where you just have to take photos. They make up quite a lot of the missions in the game. And of course the game, you do play the stealth fighter or stealth bomber, but when this game came out nobody actually knew what the stealth bomber looked like, so they just sort of took a guess at it. And well, they guessed quite a lot of stuff about it, but as usual with Microprose, they were fairly on the ball, fairly on the money. And it's not a million miles away from what actually appeared. So we'll go strike missions. Green opponents, obviously. No crashes, yes. You can have easy landings, but we'll just go no crashes. Right, so let's have a look. So you're presented with a mission briefing. Due to new activity, a photo overflight at 20 to 24,000. The Gulf of Sirte Samatore. You get a map reference. The game comes with some maps. So, photo recon. We're taking off from aircraft carrier CV America, and that's where we're going to land as well. So, press fire. Now, as usual, you can, if you don't like the sound of the mission, you can go and leave, let somebody else do it. That will affect your promotion prospects if you decide to leave too many missions. You could select another mission, but no, but we're gonna go with this one. So it's armed plane. It gives you a default for each mission. It's very rare that you have to change it really, unless you've got a particular preference for a particular munition. But this is a photo recon mission, so you can see the camera is already mounted in Bay 4. You have 4 weapon bays, so by default the camera will always be there if it's a photo recon mission. And let's get started. Now, all the missions in the game revolve around the concept of stealth. And you are assessed on not just on how well you completed the mission, but you're also assessed on how stealthily you carried out the mission. And as you can see, the game has vector graphics, wireframe. No filled in 3D graphics back then, really, on the 64. Now the Amiga version, I think it was called F19. Was it F19 Stealth Fighter? I can't remember. F19 anyway. And that did have solid graphics, but the gameplay was more or less the same. Now you can see, well, if you look at the bottom, the right-hand side of the screen, around about the middle, there's 4 yellow bars on a LED strip of 10. That's your current electromagnetic visibility rating. It's basically your stealth rating. The less amount of lights you have, the less visible you are to an enemy. So let's get started in the mission. So you see the bottom left, there's a little map of, well, you can see it's of the Mediterranean. There's a flashing white dot. That's where you are. You're on the carrier at the moment. So let's turn the engines on. There's a flashing yellow dot. That's your destination, and it's already been programmed into your sort of sat nav. It's called INS, but okay, clear for takeoff. Good luck. So let's increase the throttle. Take off the brakes. And we're off. Now, like I mean, it's fairly similar to most flights. On the right-hand side, you can see the ladder. That's the altitude ladder. We're at 4,000 feet at the moment. The left-hand side is the sort of the airspeed. There's a black strip. Something. There's a black strip. If it appears, that's the current stall speed. So if we take up our landing gear, that stall speed should go down. Yeah. So what we should do is gain as much altitude as possible. If you're over 30,000 feet, you're much less visible to the radar, and the strips should go down. We're now at 5 strips because we're at maximum thrust. That makes us more visible. We're also heading completely the wrong direction, so what I'll do is I'll turn round. Now the graphics are very, very sparse, but the frame rate is very high. But what you've got to do really is use it in conjunction with the map to understand what you're looking at. Those little blue lines, the pale blue lines, they're actually ships. That's the wake of a ship. And the black outlines is actually land. But we're going the wrong direction, so we should be heading south. So at the top of the screen is a direction indicator, and the little black marker on it is the waypoint that we should be heading towards. So if we line it up with the centre, then we're heading straight for the target. Now again, this is probably not the best thing to do for some missions. If you study the maps that come with the game, it tells you where all the surface-to-air missile sites are, things like that, and you probably want to try and avoid flying over them. So we're now almost at 32,000 feet. If we level out now, and we decrease the airspeed, you can see, if you look at the little LED strips now, it's gone down to 3. we've got down to 2 now. What we want to do is we want to state that's a that's about the best rating you can probably get for a in-flight. If you look at the main screen now, what it does is it doesn't show you land and sea because of the limited nature of the graphics. It sort of has an average. It decides what's the best. It'll be yellow or green if you're over land, or blue if you're over sea. So we're mostly over sea, so it's blue at the moment. Right, so if you can speed up time, there's an accelerate time option, which I'm going to activate now. This will stay on until if you get detected by any radars or contacted in any way, it will drop out of accelerated time. Once we get close enough to the land, the graphics will change colour to indicate that we're over land. I don't know why I had the brakes on there, but never mind. Right. So, radar warnings just popped on there to say that there's radar signals in the area, but we haven't actually been spotted yet. Because it's blue, it means we haven't been spotted. It looks like there's a plane in the air. If it just activates. Nope, it's fine. Now we have to be between all the recon missions are. Excuse me. All the recon missions are between have to take place between an altitude of 20 and 24,000 feet. So we're almost at our destination, so we should start to drop down. The yellow radar warnings popped on. That means that something's probably got a track on us. Well, we've managed to lose it. It's time to start descending anyway. We're almost over the target area. The status panel at the right, the bottom right. There we go. See the screen's turned green now. That means we're over land mostly. Well, or it's just it tries to take a best guess. I mean, the graphics, they are very simple, but it's cleverly done. But they're as minimalistic as they could be. But just enough information to give you, a sensation of where you're supposed to be, or a sense of where you're supposed to be. So it will tell us when we're over the target area. And all we have to do is, once you've opened your weapons bay, you become immediately much more visible to a radar due to EM from your weapons and things like that. So it's best to keep your weapons bay closed for as long as possible. And the camera is in the weapons bay, so I'm not going to open the camera until I'm directly over the area I'm supposed to be taking the picture of. They're like most flight sims, they're not pick up and play. They're quite take a while to get into them. Right, I'm now over the photo area, so I'll open my camera. The top right or top left says film 500. It's going down now. Whoops, I've managed to mess that up. It says film 350 and target 10. You need to get 300 frames of film in order to have a satisfactory Right, so I'm over the target area again. So I'm taking more pictures. Once I've got 300, I can bail out. Okay, I've got 300 frames now. I can close my weapons bay and try and get out of here before I get shot down. Or I might just open the weapons bay. Yep, got my sidewinders lined up. I might just take out this plane. But the aim of the game is not really, well, unless it's a combat mission, the aim of the game is really to not really got a good lock on him there. The aim of the game is to really be as stealthy as possible. So if you get detected, I mean, obviously you should defend yourself, but you shouldn't really be trying to take on other aircraft unless you really have to. I've not got a good lock on this guy. Once the target and reticle goes yellow, turns into a circle, then you've got a lock on him. That's I've taken another hit there. Oh, what have I taken a hit in? Okay, just trying to... Right, there we go, got a good lock. And he's gone. So, you see the graphics are very, very simple, but they have to be in order to keep the frame rate high. Right, okay, it's time for me to get out of here, I think. So, maximum thrust. Try and gain some altitude. Okay, I missed that plane, he's probably going to come after me. Check my status. Okay, so I've got some flight control damage, lights, jammers are out, that's not good. No point using them then, is there? Just trying to get back to the aircraft carrier. Yep, so, well, obviously I've just shown you a very, very small insight to a much bigger game. You know, there's all sorts of missions you can do, and hopefully be able to do them better than I'm doing this one. But, as flight sims go, this is certainly one of the best on the 64. Whether it's as good as Gunship, I don't know. It's quite a very different sort of game, and that's not a bad thing actually. It's good to have the two different sort of types of game. Gunship is more sort of close terrain and sort of planning your way around hills and things like that. This is more about stealth and not necessarily flying direct route as well, but you know, trying to find probably a more optimal route to achieve your objectives. And there's all sorts of different missions in this, not just combat missions, but camera recon, photo recon that I've just done. Um, so yeah, different types of game, but I can't remember what I gave Gunship. I probably give it 9 out of 10, and I think I'll give this 9 out of 10 as well. So as far as flight sims go, this is definitely one of the more. I'm probably not showing it in a great light here, but it's certainly one of the more interesting ones on 64. I wonder if I can just warp the emulator a bit here, just to accelerate time a bit. So you can see there's a light blue trail. That's the wash of the wake of my ship that I have to land on. So it's best to lose some altitude now. Now I'm on the, I think I might have overshot the ship already. In fact, yeah, here's my ship here. I'll speed up a bit there. These are the ships. This is my carrier. I'll have to come round for another pass because I'm on completely the wrong, completely the wrong angle here. Yeah, so I've not played this too much. I've been playing it. I feel a bit. I played it a bit a couple of months ago. I had a few games of it, so I'm not entirely new to it, but I'm not really a master of it yet, as you can probably guess. Right, it's time to cut some thrust. It doesn't help when I'm playing on the emulator here, and the plus and minus keys are reversed on the PC keyboard compared to the 64. And on the 64, you'd also have you'd have a keyboard overlay, makes things a bit easier. Okay, I think that's my carrier over here. Oops, I think I've just managed to crash in the sea. Fortunately, I've got no crashes turned on, so I can survive. Okay, there's the carrier. Again, you probably need a bit of imagination to get the most out of this game. The graphics, they are very minimalist, but they work well. I think they're just enough detail. Where's my landing gear? Landing gear. I can't seem to get it to work. Landing gear is down. Don't know what I've done there. I'm determined to land this bloody thing now. I think I've just run out of fuel. Okay, so never mind. That wasn't the ending I was hoping for. But I'll probably be laughed at now. When you complete the mission, there's normally some presentation screens that show you, reflect how well you did. If you're in the officers' mess, officers' club, if you did well, then there'll be lots of people cheering you on. If you did badly, they'll be sort of laughing behind your back. In this case, I managed to die, so never mind. Right, well that's Project Stealth Fighter for you. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Great game, but obviously if you don't like flight sims, this isn't going to change your mind. But if you do, well worth a look. But again, like most of these games, you need to sort of get your hands on the manual, and preferably have a keyboard overlay. Right, see you in the next video.